Alright, so Adonis Stevenson knocks out Chad Dawson in the very first round to become the new WBC light heavyweight champ at 175 pounds. Coming to this fight, I'll be honest with you guys, I've never seen Adonis Stevenson fight before. His name has came up here and there a few times, but like I said, this is my very first time seeing him perform in the ring. And what I did hear about him, before was that he carries tremendous power. He's a knockout artist, and we saw that in this fight. As far as Chad Dawson is concerned, I was kind of curious where his mental game was coming into this fight after he got beat by Chad Dawson, going down one whole weight division to challenge him at 168. I still think Andre Ward would have beat Chad Dawson at 175 pounds. I'm not really sure there would have been knockdowns in that fight, because that would have been a weight where Chad Dawson would have been comfortable. In this case, we saw that Chad Dawson was fighting at his comfortable weight class. Chad Dawson was looking decent in the short very first time in that opening round one. The issue is he started to fuck up big time when he started to come forward to Adonis Stevenson. Clearly in this fight, you saw that Chad Dawson had the size advantage. I believe he even had a reach advantage. I don't remember the exact ages of the fighters. But clearly, when you have a size advantage and a reach advantage, and you're in the ring against a knockout artist, the worst thing you could do is to come in and come forward and that's just asking for trouble. That's like recipe for disaster, because and we clearly saw what happened with Manny Pacquiao when he fought Juan Manuel Marquez for the fourth time. I mean, that's a prime example right there of what happened. So when that's the worst thing you could do against somebody like that. All Chad Dawson really had to do was just stay on the outside and box. This kid Adonis Stevenson. But like I said, man, I think Chad Dawson, I'm not really sure where his mental game is. I think Chad Dawson, suffers from not having mental toughness. That's an ability that, I believe you have to have when you're at, fighting professionally at this stage of the game, because you could be the best, have the most physical, best shape in the world, but if your mental toughness is not there, you're not going to be able to go far in the sport. Me personally, this is my own personal opinion. I think Chad Dawson is done. I think he needs to retire. I don't know how he's going to be able to come back from a knockout like that, in the first round. Now, if this fight would have went longer, even if the fight, say, would have went to the distance, or even if Chad Dawson did get knocked down, like say in the 8th or 9th round or something like that, then I can see him, trying to, come back. You do have to commend Chad Dawson, though, because it's the second fight in a row where he went to somebody's backyard, and that's not always the easiest, when you got hardly nobody cheering for you. That shit's tough, but I think Chad Dawson is done, man. If he doesn't have the mental game state at this point in his career, he should just call it quits, hang up the gloves. Because at this point, man, you're just really, you're trying to, at this point now you're worrying about your health, you're worrying about your family, all this stuff, And if Chad Dawson, for some miraculous reason, does decide to come back, I think he needs to get rid of this trainer. I think he needs to get rid of that whole entire management team. He needs to start fresh, man. Fresh slate. I don't know what Chad Dawson's going to do, honestly. He's at a tough point at this time in his career, man. Honestly, really don't know. But I think he's done. Not physically, but mentally. Mentally, he's done. And he just call it quits, hang it up. He had a good career. I'm pretty sure he made enough money in the sport. I just think, at this point, man, when your mental game is not there, just call it quits, man. Worry about your health, worry about your family, move on to bigger and better things. Nothing more to say than that, man. I mean, Adonis Stevenson, proved himself. It's just sad when you got to see something like this, man, because I really feel for Chad Dawson. You guys got to take into consideration, all that time he spent in training camp, all those times he had to, go to the press conference, to weigh in, all this build up. It all went down the drain in that very first round, just like that. And when it comes to, being mentally tough in that ring, Chad Dawson, he just does not possess that. He just doesn't possess it, and that's why I think it's time for him to go. As far as Adonis Stevenson's concerned, he's not the most, technical fighter, I would have to say, but I mean, his power, you really got to respect the man. His power is no joke. And at this point, Adonis Stevenson, he got plenty of options on the table right now. I'm hearing Carl Froch, Nathan Cleverly, Andre Ward. I mean, there's tons of options he could go at this point. I think Adonis Stevenson has really made his name larger from this fight, beating Chad Dawson the way how he did. And I'm really looking forward to his next fight. Yeah, man, nothing more to add on that. I wish the best for Chad Dawson, whatever decision he decides to do at his career at this point. But, yeah, you got to give it up to Adonis Stevenson, man. And also, one last thing. I noticed when Chad Dawson got knocked down, he got up. Another thing I saw from Chad Dawson was that it seemed like in his eyes you could tell that he didn't want it no more. He tasted that power. He got respect out of that power, and he was backing up instead of coming forward to the referee. And he was looking away from the referee, like he didn't want it no more. And that's why I think, Chad Dawson should hang up the gloves, man. You could just tell he didn't want it. I mean, I could understand if the referee would have called the fight back in. It might have got worse. Who knows? But when you get knocked down, man, you really have to show that referee that you still want to be in that fight. You gotta really look him in the eyes, give him your hands, come forward. You really have to show him that you really want to be in this fight. And I don't think Chad Dawson showed that in this fight. And if he continues his career like this, I think it'll just get worse for him. And that's why I think, like I said, at this point, he just needs to hang it up. But nothing more to add than that, man. Nothing more to add on that. And let me know what you guys think. What's next for Adonis Stevenson? Where does he go from here? Where does Chad Dawson go from here? And all that good stuff. And I'll be on to the next video real soon. Peace.